Greetings and salutations. It is the Let's Not Do This podcast on Thursday, September the 5th, the year of our Lord, 2024. You got the big O, Leon Oliver, sitting alongside two of the three unwise men. Technical difficulties be damned. We are on the air. This show, if you had seen this a few minutes ago, kind of like a duck right now. We are, it looks smooth sailing across the water. Underwater, he's kicking like crazy, But we are here. Chris is, I'm not going to say that word, but yeah, let's be on the air. All right, boys. Scotty, how are you, sir?
Good. Better than Chiefsaholic right now.
Yeah, well, don't drop the soap, but hopefully he can watch the Chiefs game. We'll get into that a little bit later on.
If I call 911 right now, will you answer?
Oh, fuck you. Hey, whatever works. I got this from a Burger King, actually. Speaking of which, I went to Burger King before this show. Never been to a Burger King before where the order screens were completely black, and it had like it wasn't getting the source. Oh,
that might be racist.
And it had it like it wasn't getting the source, and it was like turned on its side. So if you're going to be buying a cheap screen somewhere in the Richmond area, you won't be getting one from a Burger King here soon. And a man that doesn't know anything about soap, Chris Green, how are you, sir?
It's been a long week. I'm glad football's back.
There we go. Football is back indeed. We got the Chiefs and the Ravens coming up from was it Gaia? What the hell is the name of the stadium at Arrowhead now?
Man,
it
doesn't matter.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. Every time I see that, I think Gee. Maybe that's all the Joe Rogan I listen to. Yeah, I don't know. But we got that coming up. We'll share some thoughts on that, do some picks and a couple of weird stories and everything. A little discombobulated start here as we did not have time to have our super secret pre-show meeting. But what are you going to do? All right, we'll just dive right into it. NFL. Oh, and also don't forget to follow us, as you can see on the bottom of the screen there. Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, all that good stuff. Most importantly, subscribe on YouTube and Rumble. Click the follow button there and subscribe. Listen to the show. Share it. Tell a friend. All that good stuff there. Boys, I know I'm excited for football. You guys got bets in already? Are we still working the cards? Or are we ready to go for this evening?
Got a couple, and I'm excited.
Okay. Yeah, I had a couple yesterday, and then I went and took advantage of every promo and boost, so I have probably 8 bets and then 2 free bets.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Oh, you actually got a couple free bets?
Well, one of them's back from when I became a VIP with DraftKings. So if Mark Andrews or Noah Gray gets the first touchdown, I'll win about $500.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, say that so the Internal Revenue Service can keep a close eye on that for you there if you do win that.
Well, it's not 600, so it's okay.
Okay, well that is true. That is true. All right, so I didn't have a chance to update these lines. Right beforehand before we get into this, so let me know if things have moved here on ESPN Bet. In fact, as I vamp here, I see one that has moved. So I'm going to update that as we talk. And that is the opening game this evening, Kansas City and Baltimore. Let me go ahead and update that 8:20 kick there on NBC and Peacock. It looks like, according to ESPN Bet, and my mouse browser is going away, now allowing me to update the line, but it looks like the line for the over-under has now dropped to 46.5 right now on ESPN Bet. Looks like Kansas City is a 3-point favorite in this game. Scotty, I will start with you for your thoughts on this bad boy.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a pretty close game. This isn't my pick, but I actually like Baltimore to pull the upset tonight, even though everybody that I listen to has been going with the Chiefs. Still going to go with my gut. The first thing I look at with NFL regular season is motivation, and Kansas City ended the Ravens season last year. The Chiefs, sometimes they kind of, early in the season, they'll kind of just stroll through it and then get better and more serious as the season goes on. I'm sure, are they giving out rings tonight? Do you
I
know?
would imagine the first home game. I haven't looked, but I would imagine they'll probably be giving out the Super Bowl rings for that.
Yeah, so the Ravens going to be sitting there just getting mad, thinking about last year. I'm sure they thought last year was their year. They've added Derrick Henry. I feel bad for if they do the read option, who has to decide whether they want to go after Lamar or Derrick Henry. That's a frightening thought. A little worried about the changes on the O line and losing the defensive coordinator, but I just think tonight they got all the motivation. In my pick'em league, I went with Baltimore. But for my bet, I'm going with the under 46.5. That's actually where I got it yesterday when I bet it. First game, usually some jitters or whatever you want to call it, usually slow starts. The Ravens will run the ball tonight, unlike in the playoffs. I think the running backs had less than 10 carries combined in the AFC Championship game. So they're definitely going to come out, run the ball, chew some clock. And yeah, I see it just being a kind of like a playoff, at least from the Ravens side, kind of a playoff vibe week one. Yeah, I see it first half, especially being under, maybe some points in the second half. But yeah, give me the under.
Okay, so you're going with under the new live under now 46.5 there on ESPN bet. Yeah, that's what you're going with. Okay, I like that. I agree with I agree with a lot of that there. Chris, your thoughts on this evening?
Yeah, I at the beginning of the year, defenses are usually ahead. This will be a close game. Probably going to be sucked up by a lot of Derrick Henry runs and Isaiah Pacheco as the quarterbacks are getting their legs under them. I was leaning towards the under as well. The playoff game was a snooze fest last year. I don't expect it to be high scoring tonight. Love the under. If I have to pick a side, probably go with Kansas City just because.
Okay, so is that your official pick for this week? You're going with Kansas City.
Kansas City. No, I'm taking the under.
Okay. So you're
under is my official pick.
Okay, so you both are on the under for this week.
Don't do it, Leon.
Okay,
don't do it.
All right, so couple of things here. The lines fluctuate a little bit. It stayed at, it opened at Kansas City -3. It stayed there. We've seen the over under fluctuate. It's now down to 46.5. Couple stats to throw at you here. Kansas City is 9-2 straight up, and 7-4 against the spread in week one games during the Andy Reid era. Ravens are 2-0 against the spread as a road dog in 2023. And the under has cashed 18 of the last 22 games at Arrowhead Stadium. Both quarterbacks coming off career highs completion percentage. So if you're looking for some props there, maybe on completed passes could be interesting. Both of them, by the way, 67.2% completion percentage last year. All that being said, Baltimore's run game is just scary. Then you add Derrick Henry to it. I saw a lot of people getting on props of Derrick Henry plus plus 500, I think, on some things for 2 touchdowns. We're not doing the props here. We're just doing the game. Baltimore is still salty coming off that loss in the playoffs. I like the Ravens plus the 3 points here. I think they could get the outright win. We see it so often, the Super Bowl champions at home. Maybe they don't play as well as all the festivities, all this stuff is going on. Baltimore's had a while to stew about this. They play good defense. They got a lot of weapons on the offense. Then you add Derrick Henry. I like Baltimore to control the clock, and I like them plus the 3 points here.
Yeah, also real quick, you're throwing out stats. So Lamar Jackson, as a regular season underdog, is undefeated against the spread. 12-0-1, I believe.
Boom,
and
wow.
9-4 straight up.
Okay.
There we go. Okay, I like it. I like it.
Can't stay undefeated forever.
True.
All right, and speaking of staying undefeated, as I said, our little scramble here before the show, we didn't have time to put everything up, including our records, before going into this. So take these with a grain of salt right now, if you will, because we've had some, shall we say, struggles so far. Where did he go? He just disappeared, most like the women in his life.
Jesus.
Our records, week 1 was not kind to us.
Yikes.
You two went 1-4, and I
Wait
went
a minute.
1-3-1 through week 1, and then we did our underdog parlay on our Saturday morning pick show, doing lines, which will be coming at you live on Saturday morning at 9 a.m. That went 0-1. So take these with a grain of salt. It's a slow start for us.
Did our underdogs not go into our total?
No, that's just a separate. That's just our
okay.
underdog. Yeah,
Got it. Okay.
yeah, that's our
I don't,
separate.
we don't need to keep a record of the parlay either because they're underdogs.
It's never going to hit.
Underdog. I want to know. I want to know the percentages. If it hits,
if we go 2-6, that's really good. But to
exactly
the common person, they're going to be like 2-6.
Well,
you guys are terrible.
We require someone to have a little bit of brains. We only have one dummy around here, and that's why we keep Chris. But but yeah,
I really went 1-4.
Yeah, you went 1-4. It was a rough week. It was a rough start for us. That's okay. First week of college football, no one knows what the hell is going on, including the coaches. Bronco Mendenhall's kicking field goals into monsoons and stuff. I don't know what the hell is going on. No one knows. Florida State has forgotten how to play football. We'll talk more college stuff on Saturday morning, but what are you going to do? All right, so
luckily the NFL is our forte. We are much better at the NFL than we are in college.
For sure, mine. But I've actually been doing pretty good in college. Just I'm putting up the wrong picks for the podcast. I had a good week last week.
Hey, this is what's on record. This is what you got to be good at. So, all right. Official pick for Baltimore and Kansas City. I'm going Ravens +3, and you two gentlemen are on under 46.5.
Correct.
Yep.
All right. Coming up tomorrow on a rare Friday game in the NFL from beautiful Sao Paulo, Brazil, and the Corinthians Stadium there. You got the Eagles taking on the Packers in what I guess is a Philadelphia home game. I saw the field decorated with Eagles logos and stuff, so I guess it's technically a home game for them, though I'm sure Green Bay fans, if they were able to get passports, are probably in Brazil right now. I'm Green Bay fans, if you haven't already flown, remember you cannot bring your hunting rifle with you on the plane. You have to leave that home. No deer stands, leave the camo, leave the blaze orange. Do not bring it to Brazil. Just a little PSA for y'all.
Probably leave the cheese too.
Philly fans, you might want to have those shivs that you usually have and your brass knucks and stuff. You may need them in Brazil. I'll start off on this one. Over under 49.5. Eagles 2-point favorite there. 8:15 tomorrow on Peacock. Chris, do you have Peacock?
My roommates do.
Okay, there we go. I was going to text you me pictures watching the game and laughing at you. All right. So this line opened up with Eagles by 1.5. The over-under was at 48.5. So we're seeing that's kind of money coming in on Philadelphia. Philadelphia's 4-1 right now, money line in the last 5 openers. Packers are 3-2 money line in their last 5. Green Bay, of course, started slow last year, 2-5. They finished 9-8 on the season. Big part of that is Jordan Love. He went 19 touchdowns and 1 pick down the stretch. I think he's on the precipice of big-time stardom. I really like this Green Bay team this year. I like them a whole lot, and I think they could win the NFC. That being said, I am going to go personally with the under in this game, and I have it right now at 49.5. Tell me, has that changed recently? Let me look. I got it at 40. Yeah, it looks like it's still there.
Yep.
49.5. Okay, I'm sticking with it right there at 49.5. I just think there's too many unknowns. It's the first game of the season. I always kind of tend to like unders a little bit more in week 1. You're traveling to a whole other damn continent. There's guys like Darius Slade that are concerned about their families. Who knows what other stuff is going on in the background. I feel like there's a lot of noise. There's a lot of guys out of their comfort zone. NFL players are creatures of habit. And when you kind of disrupt that rotation, it kind of throws things askew. So I think it could kind of be a sloppy game just from guys just not being comfortable until maybe the second half or so. I'm going under 49.5.
All right, I'll go next. I was going to bet the under, but mainly because it's an international game and that is a big total. but I do think that both offenses are going to be capable of putting up points. So I'll probably still bet it, but my pick's going to be Eagles -2. I'm a fan of this Green Bay team too. I picked them to win the division, but I just think I thought this was going to be like 3.5, 4.5, and I was actually going to bet the Packers. But at -2, I see the Eagles winning by a field goal. Again, I think this will be a good game, but yeah, give me Philly.
Christopher?
I'm going the opposite of that. I think this is Jalen Hurts' first real game without Jason Kelce. That place is going to be nuts. They have no idea what's going on. They're just going to be loud for no reason. Drunk Brazilians packed into a soccer stadium. So Jalen Hurts, he's going to have trouble calling the protections early on. Once they get that game started, he might settle in. I don't have faith that he will. I'm buying all into the riff with him and his coach. Like I said a couple weeks ago, there is a leadership vacuum since Fletcher Cox and Jason Kelce left the locker room. Green Bay was one of the hottest teams going into the playoffs last year. They whooped Dallas's ass. Philadelphia fizzled out in their first game in the playoffs. So momentum is on Green Bay's side. I'm taking Green Bay straight up.
Green Bay straight up there. No faith, Chris, and Kellen Moore is the new OC in Philadelphia setting things right?
No, why would I? No, Philadelphia could win by 4 touchdowns. I don't know, but it's the first game of the season. They're in Brazil. Weirder shit has happened.
Yeah. By the way,
it's either going to be like an insane atmosphere, or they're just going to be dead quiet, waiting for field goals to be kicked.
I want to see the crowd go nuts for a field goal. By the way, I don't know if they'll understand it as well. I mean, obviously, like in England and Europe and stuff, they go a little bit nuts there because it's kind of similar to rugby, like kicking a try there. Kicking they don't call it a try. Try is when you score. I forget what they call it, the extra point or whatever it is in rugby after you scored a try. So I guess it's similar to that. I want to know how like the Brazilian crowd reacts to a field goal.
I think they're going to react more to somebody twisting an ankle and rolling around on the floor like Neymar than anything.
So Jalen Hurts.
I am looking forward to seeing. I am looking forward to seeing certain parts of the crowd.
Oh yeah. So as someone who used to work in that line of work, I can tell you that at least back in the day, every truck had at least one camera guy that was looking for B-roll of attractive women during the crowd. And sometimes when those what's called a melt is all like the highlight tape is made. Sometimes there was a melt tape that had a few co-eds on there too. So I'm sure there will be some very enthusiastic camera guys scanning the crowd there in Brazil. Do you think we get a pitch invader? Do you think we get a streaker?
No.
I don't know if they'll show it. I think it will happen. I don't know if they'll show it on TV.
There's probably more likely to be a flare shot onto the field than a streaker.
Who brings them? Oh, man. If Corinthians fans can team up with Eagles fans, that could be a dangerous combination there.
All right. So who's going to have more views? Taylor Swift on the Chiefs game tonight or hot Brazilian women on the Peacock game?
Oh, Jesus Christ. Well, I mean, it's going to be Taylor Swift because it's on NBC.
I think it'll be close, but yeah, probably Swift.
Well, the NBC
like you said, I'm looking forward to the B-roll and the double D-roll.
That was, you know what? Do I have it on this one? I do. That was terrible. One thing I did want to point out, I wish I had a picture of it here. I don't. The Eagles are wearing, I think it's like white jerseys and I think black pants. And there is like not like a speck of green. I think black helmets.
Hey, you can't wear green there, right?
Well, that was a misconception. I think Josh Jacobs said something. Corinthians, like their rival team, wears green. Green Bay is wearing green. There's a content creator that does NFL stuff I follow that goes internationally. He went there. He's a Packer fan. He went there a couple months ago. He was walking all around wearing green, meeting up with Packer fans that lived in Brazil. He was fine. So I think that was a little bit blown out of proportion.
Okay.
But Corinthians, their colors are black and white. So I think that's why the Eagles went with their kind of white and black look as a little bit of a hat tip to the home team there. But who do you think has more fans? You think it's going to be more Eagle fans or more Packer fans?
Oh, for sure. I mean, the Eagles fans are going to travel. I saw a bunch of videos on Instagram with Eagles fans at the statue of Jesus and shit. So that'll be interesting. Yeah, exactly.
Haven't the Packers played there before?
No, this is the first ever NFL game in Brazil. Yeah.
I heard something that like the Packers were the team there for some reason, but I might be wrong.
The NFL does this thing where they assign rights around the world. Like I think the Dolphins have like global rights in Germany or something like that. Okay. I think I forget who has Mexico. I think the Broncos and like the Cowboys or whatever. It's like they have rights territories like internationally. So maybe that's part of Green Bay's. Green Bay is a big, huge national team. You know, it's like Green Bay, the Steelers, the Cowboys. You know, people have never been anywhere near that place. Love that place. I'm sure there's going to be tons of cheeseheads there. And Philly fans also, their parole and house arrest may prevent them from leaving the country. So
that's possible. Yeah.
I did think it was kind of wild that the Eagles are telling or some of the players are telling their fans not to come for their safety. It's like, you're telling Eagles fans that? Like, you must think this place is pretty bad if it's not safe enough for Philly fans.
Have you been through Kensington in Philadelphia? Just drive through that area and then go and compare that to Sao Paulo. I think Eagle fans will be okay. I'm just going to say. Maybe not the guy from like, you know, Westchester or something like that, you know, but or the guy from the Jersey Burbs, which where the 76ers might end up moving to. But, you know, I think they'll be okay, I think. All right, going to college football here. We got a handful of games tomorrow. We'll do a more robust college football slate Saturday morning on our Doing Lines show, which you can find right here at 9 a.m. But, Scotty, I will start off with you. I think you and Chris are on the same game here. Friday night there on the shores of Lake Michigan, Northwestern hosting Duke. It's going to be windy. Very windy from what I understand, and I'm sure coming right off that lake is going to be fucking cold, and I can't wait. But Duke, 2.5-point dogs on the road at Northwestern. Over under 37.5, 9 p.m. kick tomorrow night, FS1. Scotty, your go. That way. There we
go. I'm afraid me and Chris probably have the same pick, but the reasons you just said, they're playing on a lake. It's going to be very windy there. I'm taking the under 37.5. Last week, both of these offenses, Duke played Elon. I guess they have a football team. Only scored 26 points.
Hey, never doubt
Northwestern.
Never doubt the Phoenix, okay? And they used to be the Fighting Christians. Never doubt someone that used to be a Fighting Christian.
Sure. Okay. Anyways, Duke only put up 26 points against them last week. Northwestern won a 13-9 game at the same stadium against Miami of Ohio. Yeah, I don't see a whole lot of points being put up, especially with the wind. If it was normal conditions, maybe I would take the over. But yeah, this has all the makings of like a 14-13 type game. Probably not going to be a pretty game. Give me the under.
All right. Under 37.5 on the shores of Lake Michigan. Christopher, do you know what city Northwestern is in?
Chicago?
The suburbs, Evanston, Illinois. Okay, just want to make sure. Just want to see if you're there. All right. Two academic powerhouses doing battle on the gridiron. What do you see here?
Yeah, a bunch of fucking nerds. They're not going to score a lot. I'm going with the under.
Okay, so you guys are on the same side here. Now, this is not one of my picks. I don't have this on my card, but I think I will be betting this separately for my own personal things. I am going to go with Northwestern minus the 2.5. Duke's offense left a lot to be desired last week. And I think I think when you said it was going to be like a 13-9 kind of game, I expect that totally. Maybe 14-10, something like that. It's not going to be pretty. So yeah, I like Northwestern minus 2.5. Yeah, I think you guys are probably right on over under. But so I don't get the jinx, I'm going to stay away from it. But I would take Northwestern minus 2.5 if I was going to. All right, and then on my college football docket tomorrow night. ACC newcomer SMU hosting BYU. A little Christian battle there. You got the Mormons and the Methodists. We'll see who takes what's it called when you do the little thing?
Communion.
Yeah.
So who takes? I don't know. I'm going to hell. I don't know. We'll see who takes communion when it's all over with. SMU laying the 11.5 at home. Over under is 55.5 there. 7:00 tomorrow night on ESPN2. Cougars routed the Salukis of Southern Illinois last week, 41-13. Quarterback Jake Retzlaff had his best game in the Royal Blue and White, going for 348 and 3 strikes through the air. SMU, though, I don't know. This is the same team that nearly lost outright to Nevada in week 0 when they were a 27-point favorite. And I do really like BYU running back LJ Martin. He had 67 and a tutty yesterday. So he's a guy that could, not yesterday, in week 1. So he's a guy that could make a difference there for them on the ground. And the Cougars are 4-2 against the spread in their last 6 games as a double-digit underdog. So that being said, I'm going to take the Cougs plus the 11.5. I could see parlaying that with the over as well, but for this show, I'm going to go ahead and take the Cougs plus 11.5 there at SMU.
Yeah, I like both of those, sadly. Yeah, I like the double digits point spread. I think that's too many points. And I almost took the over with my pick. So I like the over too.
Christian, any thoughts on that?
Nope, there's nothing going on up here right now for
You
this
got
game.
on that.
I don't.
Right
SMU looked like shit against who they play, Nevada first game?
Yeah, in week 0.
Yeah. So
hey, that was my underdog pick last week, and Nevada won. Nevada's coming back.
Yeah, two of our underdog picks won.
Yeah. The Wyoming Cowboys. I think Arizona State
stay up till midnight. Well, it was over before that, but
I think Arizona State's still scoring on them right now. Evan Swoboda did not have a good game for my Pokes, but hey, there was another quarterback a couple years ago, Andrew Peasley, who was with the Jets. I think he got cut in camp, but Andrew Peasley had a bad game. His first start a few years ago ended up being Mountain West Player of the Year. So we'll see how they bounce back against the Idaho Vandals this week. Why do I know Wyoming's playing Idaho? I don't know. I have a problem. College football.
Idaho played Oregon tough last week.
Yeah. No,
they were in that game.
Vandals are good. The best thing that ever happened to that program was dropping down to the FCS level. They're much more competitive. And by the way, the SEC.
You can drop down.
Yeah, you can go down. No one. Very few people do.
Wild.
Very few people do. But Idaho was a Sun Belt member. One of ODU's first FBS win, I want to say, was at Idaho. They were in the same league, which is the weirdest fucking thing ever for a little bit. And then they just financial difficulties and scheduling, and Boise State had left them in the dust. They decided to drop down. Had a rough couple of years at first, but then they've kind of gotten things together. And we always talk about how powerful the SEC is, in FBS. You go to that upper Midwest, Pacific Northwest region, that's a powerhouse in the FCS. Montana State, Idaho State's not a bad team. There's Eastern Washington's had great years. There's a lot of good football up there. I don't know how you get guys to go up there that aren't from there, but there's a lot of good football up there.
Yeah. No, you're not.
Yeah. All right.
Track them with potatoes.
That's why they have good O-lines.
You give me a good corn-fed Idaho lineman, you could probably rush for 1,000 yards a year if you give me a bunch of corn-fed Idaho linemen. I'm okay with that. All right. You bastards. Well, I hate you so much. Going to y'all's to our teams real quick before I know I didn't spring this on you, but Chris, Virginia got the win in a game that took like 17 hours last week because of storms and everything against Richmond. Now they take on Wake Forest, and if I read somewhere correctly, I think Virginia's lost their last 5 against Wake Forest. It's been a bugaboo for them. Any thoughts on the Who's and the Deeks there in a game that you really got to have a problem or be a alum to watch?
Yeah, I don't plan on watching it, but UVA looked good last week. Why can't they beat Wake Forest? Who knows? I don't know.
Astute observations.
Scotty, I got nothing.
Your boys, Virginia Tech going to Nashville, and if it wasn't for Florida State shitting the bed the last couple of weeks, and also Clemson, I think Virginia Tech would be getting more hate nationally. But thankfully, those guys have taken a little bit off you, and also Billy Napier's Mets down there in Florida. But Hokies got surprised there by Clark Lee's Commodores, now coming back home to take on Marshall. Any thoughts on the Hokies?
Yeah, just typical, can't handle expectations. Same story the last 20 years. I do think now that we've gotten the embarrassing loss out of the way, I think they'll take care of business against Marshall at home. I hope so, man. They played good in the second half until they took the lead and they just stopped playing again. But hopefully we see more of the second half Hokies than the first half. They got to be Marshall. Season's over. Not really, because the ACC sucks, but you got to go in and beat Marshall at home. I think they will.
And of course, my beloved North Carolina State Wolfpack travel down to Charlotte to take on Tennessee. Hey, Volunteer fans, you should buy up your whole allotment of tickets because State had sold theirs out, and now we're buying yours. So just want to put that out there. But
they're worried about NC State fans. You think Tennessee fans are worried about NC State fans?
Hey,
what is it going to be? Is it going to be 80-20?
I don't think it's going to be 80-20. Actually, I think a lot of Tennessee fans are buying State tickets, I think, on the secondary market from sources that I've been hearing. I think it'll probably be closer to 50-50, maybe 55-45 NC State. But no, it should be an interesting game. State, looked like ass in the first half of that game against Western Carolina. And look, give the Catamounts credit. They're a well-coached team, and that was their Super Bowl. State really turned things on in the second half, but I think we see that defense is not the same. They're really going to miss Peyton Wilson. Even miss a guy like Jakeem Harris, who didn't get a lot of burn at State, but he goes to Carolina and he's like their leading tackler against Minnesota. He looked great in that game. But I think that defense that's carried the program for the last few years, it's going to be weird because now you're asking the offense to do it. And Grayson McCall, especially early on, was not sharp against the Catamounts. So they can't get into a dogfight with Tennessee. NC State just doesn't have the weapons to get into a shootout with them. So we'll talk more about this game Saturday, but I'm a little scared. I'm a little scared of the drunken hillbillies. Number one, those drunken hillbilly fans and their, parole prison orange that they'll have on. I'm sure there'll be lots of good moonshine, but I'm also scared of that Tennessee offense because Nico, I'm not going to try to pronounce his last name. He's the real deal, and that guy could be a future Heisman Trophy winner. Honestly, he's that good, and that offense is that good. So I'm a little scared.
I'm enjoying the fact that UVA is not the biggest underdog out of our teams this week, so that's nice.
Hey, yeah, I read all of y'all's text. So if you lose by more than 2 touchdowns, I'm going to be relentless. And if UVA loses to Wake, same thing.
We're not supposed to beat Wake, so that's fine.
Yeah, Tennessee's number
the line came down to 1, so it's pretty much a toss-up. Yeah. It's Wake, and you were talking shit about Wake too, so
Tennessee's the number 14 team in the nation. If State gets smoked by Tennessee, a lot of people will get smoked by Tennessee. Nobody gets smoked by Vanderbilt, and I've been a Vanderbilt apologist for years.
We didn't get smoked. It went to overtime.
I know it went to overtime. Hey, you were getting smoked in the first half against Vandy.
And then they got lucky on the last drive that whatever that stupid fucking lateral was that got kicked forward out of bounds that gave them a first down.
By the way, I saw a lot of people, talking about Virginia Tech and their trouble stopping the pistol, and obviously most of that staff, including Jerry Kill, who's a former Virginia Tech assistant, coming over from New Mexico State, including the quarterback Diego Pavia, who was at New Mexico State. We saw him engineer to win at Auburn last year for the Aggies. Virginia Tech, just a little thought. Most people kind of run pistol as like a base formation now. So if you have trouble stopping the pistol and a running quarterback right now, it could be a long season. Just want to put that out there right now.
It is weird how like teams that always have mobile quarterbacks for whatever reason, they seem to not be able to stop the mobile quarterback. I don't know what it is. I don't know if like in practice, like they're going half speed and they're like, oh, we got this. We don't have to worry about it.
As I was doing my research for our Doing Line show Saturday morning at 9 a.m., I came across a degenerate game, San Jose State at Air Force. And I was looking at that, and I was looking at the total, and conventional wisdom got me thinking, well, Ken Niumatalolo is that San Jose State. I did watch them last week against Sacramento State because I have a problem. They did not look great. But if anyone knows how to stop the option, it's Ken Niumatalolo, who coached it at Navy for forever and played Air Force and Army every year. But I don't know, man. I don't know. So we'll see. That might be on my card Saturday, but you're right. All right.
Yeah, and I need your judgment on this private chat real quick.
Well, it's not necessarily private. Oh, no, God, no. Please, no. No. It's not private if we put it on the air. And, yeah, it's a good thing about
I'm okay. I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it.
Yeah, no.
Right, he's fine.
I'm going to say current events, read the room.
Oh, yeah. God, every time we want to do that, that happens. That's
current events, read the room. No. And listen, I should not be the voice of reason. This should not be the voice of reason.
That is very true.
Hey, I drank a Voodoo Ranger, 9.5%.
Ooh, which one?
Juice Force.
The gay one. I thought
he
was drinking
Fruit Force.
I thought he was drinking a cocktail in a can.
Oh, dude, I did too. I thought it was one of those, what's it, Club Tails, whatever they're called?
Yeah.
Those are so awful. I literally thought it was one of those. What'd you think of the Juice Force? Oh, excuse me, the Juice Force.
Yeah, it's basically what I get at the bar. The juicy hazy. So
okay,
same thing.
Not bad. It's okay. It's not my favorite thing in the world, but I do like it. It is better than the Fruit Force, which is just like, I can't say what I was going to say about what that fruit was doing, but it's way too much fruit. Let's put it like that. Let's just
fair enough.
Yeah. All right. Well, navigating away to some non-sports stuff here as we kind of make our way around here. Just a couple of things before we get out of here. Give me 1 second. Yo, that beat is banging. By the way.
Kudos to you for making the our logo bounce on the way in. Or am I just drunk? Did that happen?
Combination too. No, I did make it bounce. Listen. I did used to do this stuff for a living 20 years ago. Technology's changed so much, and I have so little of it now. But what are you going to do? All right. So one story, I texted this to you guys today, and I'm still trying to figure out how this happened. For those of you that aren't in the Richmond area, a couple major interstates run through Richmond. East-west, Interstate 64. You can take it to the beach. You can take it all the way out to like Kentucky and stuff. North-south, of course, I-95 traverses like the whole East Coast. I think it goes. Does it go to Maine? Can you take 95 to Maine? Yeah.
I think so.
I think it.
Doesn't it go from like Maine to Florida?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So anyway, pretty much it's the thoroughblood, the artery of the East Coast. Well, if you want to circumvent and go around that, there's an area called 295 where you can kind of skip 95 and get on 64. Well, there was an accident there today, and I'm still trying to figure out how this happened. This was just past that on 64. I think it was westbound, or I can't remember. The sign showed west, but anyway, on I-64 near the Henrico County, Newton County line, and that looks to be, what is it, like a rock truck? Is that like rock, like gravel?
Yeah, it's a dump
looks like
truck. Yeah.
How
The
does this happen?
the best comment I saw today, I think it was on one of the news stations that was reporting, said, "I didn't know women drove trucks like that."
Jeez.
That might be sexist. Jeez.
You're the last person on here I thought would make that
You
joke.
make that joke. This is another image here. The first image came courtesy of a viewer that sent that into NBC 12 in Richmond. The second one here I got from WRIC Channel 8, the ABC affiliate. I mean, this went clean through that sign. All right, like, what do you think VDOT does with that sign when it's all done? Is it just go into the dumpster?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm sure they have a couple in a warehouse for things like this.
Dude,
But
like,
they're gonna
there's
have
some
to. They got to rebuild the whole stanchion. So
there's some
Yep.
fraternity
Insane.
somewhere that
So
has
it's gonna take 3 months to fix that.
they're gonna block 3 lanes at a time.
Yeah. And it's gonna be during rush hour.
some fraternity somewhere has to get this torn up sign to put in their house.
Do you
know how
understand how
sweet that would be?
fucking big that sign is, though?
Yeah,
That sign
that's
is
huge.
bigger than the entrance to a garage.
Yeah, have
It's
you,
big.
you need to go to a
Both of them are
proper,
bigger than the truck.
not the fakakta school that I went to, but if you go to a proper, especially a Southern school, and go to a proper fraternity house, you can get one of those in there.
Bro, we're in
No,
Richmond.
they're still
we
in
got,
like
we got
street
VCU
signs.
and U of R. Come on.
Hey, don't forget about
Is
Randolph.
Hampton Sydney gonna fucking steal it?
Don't forget about
Randolph
Randolph-Macon. Don't forget about Randolph-Macon. All right. Well,
J. Sarge fraternity.
there we go. It's called "I Failed at High School." If you're, I'm gonna boo myself. Where's the boo?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once again,
We're
Once
all
again,
college
three-
dropouts.
I know. Once again, a bunch of college dropouts trashing colleges.
Yeah. I will say I was president of the Interfraternity Council when I was in college because I'm cool like that. And my main thing that we did was I shut down a rogue fraternity. Someone had started a rogue fraternity called I Tapakega. I shut that shit down with the vengeance.
So
That's
you're
it.
so
you're
you're
a
the
nerd.
dean from old school.
Oh no, that Jeremy Piven's character was it Dean Wormer? No,
Yeah.
that was Animal House.
That's you.
That was Dean Wormer was Animal House. What was the dean's name? They called him Cheese.
I don't remember.
And my
Yeah,
wife,
Jeez. Yeah.
the first movie I ever saw with my wife was Old School, and we saw it with a bunch of people in a dorm room.
And she
Nonetheless,
stuck around.
yeah. And when that scene comes on, and he walks in and he goes, "Cheese," she fucking loses it. I mean, she slaps her knee to this day, and it's not funny. But apparently, something about cheese is the funniest
must
thing in
just-
the world to her.
She probably likes Vince Vaughn. I'm assuming.
Yeah, maybe she's probably more of a Jeremy Piven girl, if I had to imagine. I don't know. But she settled for me. So what do you
You look like me.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
yeah. What are you gonna say? All right. So a couple other things here. We all know that Baltimore is a very shitty place. It's a place where dreams go to die.
You said it.
Well, it's very true. It's a place where dreams go to die, where people go to get robbed. And then until recently, where the Orioles lost baseball games, but they are better now. So I came across this gentleman online, and I believe his account's called
Of course you
Shitty.
did. Sorry.
Oh, fuck you. I believe his account's called Shitty Places, SHIDDY. And so his whole thing is like, let me drop a random arrow and see can I find a shit place. And well, he did Baltimore.
Not shitty. I'm calling it now. We're actually going to do 5 drops in Baltimore next time and see if we can find something not shitty. Yeah, it's shitty. Let's see where we got next, bro. Y'all wasn't lying about the B-more, huh? Kind of crazy. Bro, it's shitty. Don't walk around out here at nighttime, huh? That's how y'all doing it?
It is Baltimore.
That's crazy. This is a pretty big city, too.
That's Petersburg.
I mean,
Bro,
what
it's
kind of
shitty.
piece de
Wow, we're at 3 out of
resistance is
5
coming
right
in.
now, bro. If we get 2 more, this is gonna be a record. I hope y'all ain't doing it like that, bro. No, I swear that's the spot on The Wire, isn't it? That TV show, y'all seen The Wire, bro? The car ain't got no. Oh no, it's shitty.
Yes,
All
but yeah.
right.
That is shitty places. The piece de resistance is right there with the car that's on blocks in Baltimore.
You can find that around here too.
Yeah.
Scotty, you're an Orioles fan. You want to defend the city of Baltimore there?
I am not saying a word about Baltimore, positively or negatively.
Oh,
I'll defend it. They got the power plant, which is fucking awesome.
you would
They
like
got
you
they
would.
got great. Well, I loved it when it was 10 years ago when my buddy got married or whatever. So, great crab cakes. They got that little market thing down by the harbor or whatever. That's dope. And Camden Yards. Don't
Well-
leave Camden Yards, but Camden Yards.
They closed that Hooters in that little market there. That was by the inner harbor. Jimmy's is very good seafood. And Fells Point is a good place to go get drunk, but yeah, you probably will die there. Speaking of dying, I forgot to mention this when we did the story on the crash. This was a couple months ago. I found this on Reddit, and this was from I-66. I forget at what juncture in Nova, but this was from I-66. For those of you watching here, if you're listening, why aren't you watching? Just watch. There's a truck going with its back of the with its
Jesus
backup.
Christ.
So that's how that happened.
Yeah, I'm assuming that's what happened. Holy shit.
How does
You
that
just
happen?
ruined everybody's day, and you know that's going to close everything, and it's going to take people 5 hours to get through that because DC traffic
Because-
is the worst.
They're just
How
giving
does that
everybody
happen?
CDLs now. They're just giving everybody CDLs now. Have you seen these Amazon drivers?
Oh, yeah, I've seen that. I've heard some theories about that. But still, if any human being driving a vehicle, you have to know, like, my dump trailer or whatever is up. Like, how do you not know? How do you not pull over?
Maybe
I
they're
guess
drunk.
Maybe. Or it's just another day for them. They're not.
Maybe they were drinking Juice Force.
maybe they were going to Baltimore. Maybe they were coming from Baltimore. They were drinking Senators Club in Baltimore. Is that awful liquor that we had, Senators Club?
Yeah. No, they were
Yeah.
drinking what's Natty Bow. They were drinking a bunch of Natty Bows.
Hey, they
That's
don't even
Baltimore's drink, isn't it?
Yeah, but they don't even make it in Baltimore anymore, unfortunately.
Uh,
Yeah, fucking Natty Bo. But all right, well, that is literally all I had. Anything you guys wanted to get to?
I didn't even read the rundown, so no.
Of course you did. I did have where the Philadelphia 76ers were planning on moving to New Jersey, possibly, which is the weirdest thing ever because you're the Philadelphia 76ers. But tell that to the New York, New Jersey football giants and Jets.
Yeah, all the Southern Jersey people claim they're from Philly anyways. It's all a bunch of fake bullshit.
Yeah.
My friend's a Phillies fan because of that. He's a moron. I'm surprised he's not commenting right now.
That would involve
will the bad weather fans have to get a 76ers fan to join the podcast if that happens?
That is a good point. That is
I'll be a Sixers
very
fan for
good
that.
Is James Harden still there?
Josh Harris is the owner over there.
No.
Right?
No. Where's James Harden?
James Harden's in LA, the Clippers.
Yeah.
Just signed an extension.
These guys changed.
Paul George went to the Sixers.
If we got time, we can talk about Caitlin Clark and how great she is doing and how the Indiana Fever made a complete 180.
And on that note,
he's a Sky fan. He's an Angel Reese fan. He doesn't want to hear about Caitlin Clark.
Yeah, fucking Dave Portnoy.
Yeah.
I was watching the Unnamed show earlier today when I was at work. Dave Portnoy going hardcore WNBA talk for like 15 minutes from a gambling standpoint. I sat there like Kurt Minahan, and I wanted to drink a gallon of Drano.
We're gonna have to get on the bus eventually. It's gonna be the new
Absolutely
meta.
not.
It's the new meta.
She's fun to watch.
If I
She
can
is fun to
ignore
watch.
the NBA, I can triple ignore the WNBA.
All
Don't
right.
you guys worry about that. Hey,
New show from me and Scotty coming soon. WNBA.
Jesus Christ, there we go. And look
all
for
the reasons you hate the NBA, the WNBA is for you.
Sure.
Yeah.
Hey, look for my new show, Above the Foil, coming soon. We'll just talk sailing.
No, I thought you were saying aluminum foil.
I do like aluminum foil.
Tinfoil hat.
I'm going to go into this fridge and unwrap some aluminum foil to get a slice of pizza here that was left over in a little bit. That's my pre-dinner slice.
And you
I'm
wonder why
grown.
you're fat.
Also, I would like to commend myself, by the way, for the one beer that I've drank during this show because I didn't have time to get my Stein or a Mass, as they say in Germany. So
Because you couldn't fucking figure out your mic because you're dumb and didn't plug it in.
No, it was plugged in. It was just some technical issues we had to overcome there, and but we.
Are you going to tell
out.
us what happened after we're done here?
Yeah,
I want to hear the story. Okay,
I'll tell you.
Very good.
All right, Scotty, bump us out of here. Let's get the hell out of here before I sober up.
Football's back.
Football is back.
Yeah.
Football is back.
See y'all Saturday morning.
Saturday morning
Yes,
for
sir.
Doing Lines.
Doing lines.